So we are trying to find the tension in those two cables. They support a weight of 1,000 pounds. Those T1 is pulling upward, the T2 is pulling also upward, and the weight is pulling downward. So let's find the resultant forces along the vertical and along the horizontal. So let's try to have on this point here we have a weight which is pulling downward. So along the vertical line, let's extend this vertical line, and we have also a horizontal. We have also weight that results along the horizontal, or tension. Therefore, along the vertical line, the only weight that is pulling downward is the 1,000 pounds. So let's go ahead and start by setting the first equation. A 1,000 pound is pulling downward. The only weight that is pulling upward are the tension, but the tension we have to find the tension along the vertical, and to do this it would be T1 cosine 63, because T1 cosine 63 will bring the tension along the vertical. So my first one would be T1 cosine 63 plus my T2 along the vertical would be T2 cosine 43. So this would be my first equation, cosine 43 degrees and 63 degrees. So these are the resultant forces along the vertical. Let's find the resultant forces along the horizontal, and that would be my second equation. Now, if T1 cosine 63 is my vertical, then T1 sine 63 would be my horizontal. So T1 sine 63 is going to be my horizontal, as well as T2 sine 43. And now this would be opposite forces, and therefore they're equal. This would be T2 sine 43. Again, the T2 is pointing towards this direction, T1 is pointing towards this direction, then these two forces must be equal. Therefore, this would be my second equation, and all I have to do is solve these two equations, two unknowns. I'm going to try to do this using the substitution. If from this equation I solve for T1, this would be T1 equals T2 sine 43 divided by the sine of 63. So this would be divided by sine 63. And now I take this value for T1, substitute in the first equation. I will have one equation, one unknown out of T2, solve for T2 and evaluate T2. So back to the first equation, if I substitute 1,000 equals, instead of T1 I put T2, so this would be T2 sine 43 divided by sine 63, and then multiplied by cosine 63. So I substituted the value of T1 in the first equation. This is T1 here, T2 sine 43 over sine 63 times cosine plus the T2 cosine 43. The next step, I'm going to take T2 as common factor and move everything to the left hand side. So this would be my next step. So T2 would be equal to 1,000 divided by sine 43 cosine 63 over sine 63 plus cosine 43. And if you do the calculation using a calculator, you should get the answer to be 927. Now take the 927 and substitute here for T2. You will get T1 equals 927 times sine 43 divided by sine 63. And again, if you use the calculator, you get 709. I hope that helped. Good luck.